It's not about race. We are one. I'm about to break down why it is about race and why people that always says this is gaslighting in order to avoid hearing the truth, which in turns keep you at a low frequency. To start, racism exists because of Bael. Bael is the first king of hell, and he has 3 heads. Remember the term two-faced? That is used to describe deceptive people. So you can imagine what 3-faced mean. He speaks in a racist but well-formed voice. Remember, words are spells. It may be spelled differently, but the frequency of the word is still the same. Racist sounds a lot like racist, right? Well-formed mean that gaslighting and spellcasting language. To keep it simple, is being mean in a nice way. For instance, management might tell you somebody works faster than you in order to manipulate you to work faster, even though they already know no one can't even work faster than you to begin with. This means deception against a certain bloodline. And notice, he's 1 out of 7 princes of hell, which are the 7 planets: Neptune, Uranus, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury. Jupiter is Bael, so he created 66 invisible legions. Here are the 66 legions created by Bael, who most call the Bible. These legions are against the fallen angels of man, image, which is the image of God. The bloodline of these angels are the black people in America. This is why we're considered dead, because we're not in heaven. They know our bloodline by our skin color and our physical attributes. There's also people with our DNA further down the line, but they are missing the physical attributes. Hence the reason why they coerce everyone to take that hot sauce 19. They want to get rid of God's image and turn it into their image. But luckily, there's a way to determine if you have the fallen angel of man DNA. The number 1 sign is that you have a conscious, aware of and responding to one's surrounding, being awake. And there's only one way that you can be aware, is if you accept and realize that we are spirits that directs our vessels in this dimension. The real you is the spirit, which is the voice in your head that directs your commands, often referred to as an inner monologue. This voice tells you right from wrong, instinctively, meaning no one has to teach you. It's literally ingrained into your DNA. And because of that, it literally mentally and physically hurts us when we do something wrong. More than half the people we see does not have a spirit, meaning the inner voice is not there to guide them. So there's no instinct to determine right from wrong. For instance, there's people that believe men can play in women's sports. We have people that's influencing kids and gender decisions. We have people that's still racist in 2024. These people truly do not know when they cross the line, because there's no voice telling them right from wrong. Either 1, they got disconnected from their spirit, from the brainwashing, or 2, they never had a spirit at all and only have a soul. This is what allows the Matrix to program these individuals. And this program is called a conscience, which is often confused with the conscience. I mean, just look at the word con, we know what that means, basically to deceive. And science is like a study, meaning this is a study to deceive. So notice it says sense or consciousness, meaning there's only 2 directions, negative or positive, evil or good, the 2 bloodlines. I just explained what consciousness is, which is being connected to the spirit. When they mention sense, it means it was learned through the program. Hence the reason why people without or that's disconnected from the spirit does not have the inner voice in their head to determine right from wrong. Therefore, these people are unable to think for themselves, to determine or even feel bad about their actions. So I said all that to say this. So check it. The story of creation starts off with the fallen angel of a man when they fell in frequency out of heaven. This is God's image. This is the melanated men in America. Our enemies then created humans from the blood of these angels. All these original humans are the melanated people all around the world. They came out to be positive energy, as in the male, negative energy, as in the female. So all of this happened in the first world. So when the second world started, the male and female humans made it, creating a second generation of humans. But also, the fallen angel of a man, which is God's image, made it with the female human, since they could replace the male with the positive energy. This made a whole race of God humans, because it was created by the consent of the fallen angels. So when the third world started, this is when the war started, because now the second generation of humans have now became a third generation of humans and gods. This is when Satan, which is Saturn, started the war by mixing with mankind. He's the first serpent, which is the reptilian they be talking about, is a half man and half dragon. He figured out a way how to get all the reptiles into human vessels so they can all blend in. And now we are in the fourth world, which is the fourth generation of humans and gods, which is the black people in America and also the black people all across the world. But as you can see, they've been killed off by Satan's bloodline, which is the Israelites. They are new races created when the dragons and serpents started mixing with humans, turned the image of man into their image of a dragon. And just in case y'all forgot what Israel actually means, the one we keep hearing about in the news is Isis, Ra, and El. Isis is Elizabeth, who is Lilith, who is Venus. Obviously, this is the queen. And we have Ra, who is Alexander, Azazel, and Mars. And I believe this is Elon. And we have El, who is Elohim, which is the Greys, and all their heavenly creations that helped enslave us. This is why we have 7 continents with 7 different races, because of the 7 reptile planets that took over. And remember what I told y'all earlier, why racism exists? Because of Bael, and he's one of the 7 princes of hell. These are the 7 princes of hell that created the 7 main races. So when I describe the first, second, third, and fourth generations, these are different worlds. Every generation, every different world starts off from another reset. What they've been doing was keeping track of what was happening through the previous generations. They either survived or they left information so they could stay ahead of us and do what they're doing now. So there's about to be another reset, and we're about to enter the 5th generation, the 5th world. As y'all can see, if you're on this side already with the humans and gods, all humans will turn into gods because we'll all be in heaven. For the 5th world on this side, this is why they're going through judgment, because of the mixed bloodlines from Satan and their serpents. There's people over here that does not know right from wrong, which means they don't know good from evil. This is why they're going to be judged. And they will either become a god or they're going to become a transhuman in the underworld. Everything I just said is why it's about race, because the human race is about to be erased. So if you have DNA from the left side of that chart, it heightens your potential frequency that will allow you to cross over heaven's gate, which is Christ's consciousness. Now this is in Mark. Y'all should read all this, but I'm gonna get straight to the point. Jesus asked him, what is his name? My name is Legion. He replied, for we are many, meaning many spirits. And it mentions they was cast down into pigs. They are talking about them parasites that been implanted in all of us. Then they say those very pigs drowned themselves. Just think about that. This means those microorganisms took over the pig's mind and made decisions for them. Doesn't that sound familiar? You see, they taught y'all to praise Jesus like he was God. Although you know he's not God, the creator, the one. Because he says he's the son of God. Doing this will keep you at a frequency below Christ, making you a Christian. So you can't become God-like, only Christ-like. So if you can't raise your frequency past Christ consciousness, Jesus Christ will not let you through. So legion means a vast number of people or things. So if they re-legioning you, this means taking away from God's army and place you into theirs. This is the exact same thing as them turning the image of man into theirs. So the 66 legions by Bael was designed to re-legion you by deception, specifically getting you to go against God's chosen ones. So in all reality, the most hated people in this realm was naturally designed to keep the peace and order here. This is why they place a matrix over this realm, to reverse everything, to place us in positions to do things that we would naturally do, to fit their narrative, and to transmute our energy to create their own realities, which is clearly chaos and destruction. But for all my platforms I got listed right here. Anyways, y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.